Feel yourself to be that which you desire. This is Hyptoria. Hypnotize you to manifest. Everything already belongs to you as you. If you could just let go of the illusion that your desire lives outside of you, you would collapse time. It would find you now. You've been taught to reach, to strive, to chase the thing you want, like it's miles ahead of you, too far to touch, too big to hold. That mindset has made you tired, not powerful. The truth is wilder, softer, and far more immediate. You have never been separate from what you want. Not for one breath, not for 1 second. The thing you long for, the relationship, the money, the home, the peace, the freedom, is not dangling above your head like some reward. It's already encoded into the energy of who you are. Every desire you carry is an echo from your future self, whispering through your soul. Remember me. I am already here. This is not poetic. This is spiritual law. We've been hypnotized by the false mirror of separation, conditioned to believe that we're disconnected from our answers, our wealth, our clarity. And yet everything you desire is folded within the essence of who you are. That's why the moment you claim it, not mentally or intellectually, but energetically and emotionally, the universe snaps into formation around you. It doesn't take time. It takes identity. Listen, one, you are not separate from what you want. Desire can feel sharp when it's misunderstood, like a reminder of what we aren't yet. But when seen rightly, desire is the evidence that what you seek is already yours in another dimension of being. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel it. You wouldn't crave it. You wouldn't ache for a life that wasn't already available to you. You'd feel neutral, indifferent. But the fact that you long means something. It means it's near. It means it's yours. It means it's you. Desire is not a signal of lack. It's a signal of memory. You came here encoded a soul blueprint, carrying within it every frequency of love, abundance, purpose, beauty, joy, and power you would ever need. It was never outside. This dream of yours, you didn't make it up. It made you up. You are its living form, its breath, its vessel. So when you've been waiting for the right moment, the perfect clarity, the approval, the breakthrough, take this as your sign. You don't have to wait to become what your soul already is. Feel it now. Feel the possibility that it could be here, already living in your presence, walking in your energy, moving through your body. Just feel it and notice. Something already shifts. Presence is the true portal. Feeling is the lockpick that opens what's already waiting for you. The question is, never can I have it. The question is, am I willing to be it? Not in theory, but in feeling. Just as we do not grasp the sun through our hands but receive it through warmth on our skin, we do not grab our desires through effort, but receive them through vibration. When the inside aligns, the outside obeys. Every time. This is not fantasy, this is structure, sacred mechanics of the human design. The identity you carry, the version of yourself who walks through the world right now, is magnetic. It doesn't attract what it wants, it attracts what it is. When you walk in, I am, the universe cannot argue, it must reflect. Your thoughts do not create on their own, your feelings do. Thoughts may construct an image, but only feeling breathes it into form. Decide now, what am I no longer separate from? Begin to close the gap, in your body, in your language, in your choices, in your posture. No announcement required, just embodiment, just self-remembrance. Let the longing soften into knowing. Let the craving become communion. Still your mind and say to yourself, gently, it's already mine, because it's already me. That is power. That is prayer. That is physics. You are not waiting on the universe. The universe is waiting on you to claim your state. There is no delay in manifestation, only delay in identity. The moment you feel your desire as who you are, not who you're becoming one day, but right now, you activate the pathway. Your reality bends to the I am you stand in. It doesn't ask questions. It simply mirrors, not to please you, but to obey law. This is the remembering. This is the return. This is the knowing you've always carried beneath the noise, that your life was never meant to be built from the outside. It was meant to be realized from the inside. You are not separate from what you want. That feeling of desire is not calling you into motion. It's calling you into metamorphosis. Walk as the one who has it, think as the one who knows it, live as the one who never forgot, because deep down, you never did. It was always you. Lesson 2. Identity first, reality second. There's a sacred order to how life unfolds, but we've been taught it backwards. We've been taught that if we can change our external world, then we'll feel different inside. That if we reach the goal, get the money, find the partner, lose the weight, or buy the house, then, finally, we can breathe. Then we'll be it. Confident, loved, secure, abundant. But everything here begins not with the outer, but with the inner. Not with appearance, but with essence. Not with facts, but with faith. The world you call real is nothing but a canvas painted by your inner assumptions. It's not out there to instruct you, it's here to reflect you. Your repeated thoughts turn into identity. Your identity becomes an energetic frequency. That frequency becomes the code that reality reads and responds to. You are not reacting to the world. The world is reacting to you. Every assumption carries a vibration. Each time you say, "This is just who I am," you cast a silent spell. The question is, are you casting the spell of your past or of your becoming? Most people try to change their lives with the same identity that created the limitations. They stay in the loop of, "Once this changes, I'll feel different." But that feeling never arrives because it was waiting for them to go first. You are the cause, not the consequence. You go first, energetically, emotionally, imaginatively. You feel first. You choose first. You become first. Reality moves second. Try this on. What if nothing in your life is missing? It's just waiting. Waiting for your embodiment. Waiting for you to assume the role, embody the state, speak the new name of self. The moment you drop the identity of the one who is still working on it, the one who's trying, the one who's waiting, you become who receives it with ease. The identity you choose is not about pretending. It's about anchoring into the frequency of truth that has always been available but previously unclaimed. You are not required to become in the striving sense. You are invited to remember and reveal. There's nothing new to force. There is something ancient to feel. Stop thinking in terms of a timeline. Start thinking in terms of a frequency. Identity is not something that evolves in chronological steps. It's something you step into right now, this moment. Choose yourself on the level of being, and that choice becomes the template for your reality. We tend to think of goals as something we work toward, but spiritually, every goal is a state of embodiment. If you're chasing abundance, it's because you're not yet being abundance. If you're striving for validation, it's because you still see yourself as unworthy. But here's the miracle. The moment you shift into the identity of the one who already holds it, the chase ends. And when the chase stops, the receiving begins. This shift is instant, not because the outer world reforms in a second, but because your perception does. And perception is the gatekeeper of experience. It's not just that you begin to feel better, it's that your nervous system recalibrates to safety. Your body softens into knowing, and your eyes begin to see things you were blind to before. Synchronicities increase, coincidences unfold, and opportunities that once passed you suddenly recognize you because you've changed the signal. You see, when you embody a new identity, you become a tuning fork. What you now identify as begins to magnetize experiences that are compatible with it. Aligned outcomes, not because you strained to get them, but because you finally allowed them to arrive into matching hands. You're not auditioning for your dream life. You're casting yourself in the role. You must declare it real before it shows up real. Not in arrogance, but in reverence. Reverence for the creative force you already are. Start saying yes to the version of you that already has it. Not in some far-off fantasy, but here, now, in this breath. Start sensing how you walk when you already are it. How you speak, how you choose, how you gently command the room without needing to raise your voice. Don't aim to trick yourself. Aim to trust yourself. The truth has a vibration, and when you hit it, you feel the resonance. Not a high performative buzz, but a deep, quiet recognition. You are no longer trying. You are no longer hoping. You are simply remembering and being. Whatever your desire may be, more love, more wealth, more freedom, it is not the prize. It is the echo. The real gift is the identity it calls you to embody. That's the magic. That's where all creation begins. So choose not from where you are, but from who you already are within. Choose not from reaction. Choose from remembrance. Identity first. Reality will catch up. Lesson 3. Stop reaching. Start remembering. Desire doesn't come to tease you. It comes to wake you up. The version of you that holds the vision of more love, more freedom, more purpose, more abundance, does so because it already exists within you. You're not reaching for something outside of you. Your desire is simply a memory rising from the depths of your truest self, not a projection of the future, but a reflection of your origin. The truth is, manifestation isn't an act of creation. It's an act of remembrance. And until you understand this, your energy will stay in striving, in seeking, in the never-ending loop of not yet. But when you shift from reaching to remembering, the game changes entirely, because you're no longer trying to become something you're not. You're allowing yourself to relax into what you've always been. There is a version of you whole, radiant, wealthy, magnetic, deeply loved, that already lives in the eternal now, not on some future timeline, not at the end of a long, hard road of self-improvement. Right here, right now, they exist in your field, your memory, your divine imagination, and their frequency is calling you home. The more you try to chase this version of you, the further you run from your own center. Think about it. The essence of reaching is rooted in scarcity. It implies the thing you long for is separate from you. But remembering is soft. Remembering is still. It comes from within. You can't remember something you've never had. So when a desire rises up, it's not a clue about what's missing. It's evidence of what's always been yours. You don't need to try harder. In fact, trying harder often delays the very thing you want to receive. Because trying says, it's not mine yet. Efforting becomes a subtle denial of your own power. But remembering is an act of reclaiming a quiet, sacred coming home. When you remember you already are it, you soften. You lean into resonance instead of resistance. You stop asking how and start feeling now. The universe only responds to identity, not intention. You can set all the goals, journal all the affirmations, visualize until your eyes cross. But if deep down you still feel separate from what you want, you'll block it without realizing. Because your subconscious is not listening to your words, it's responding to your state of being. And your state of being is memory-based. This work, this way of manifestation, is not about forcing a new self into being. It's about remembering the self you've always been, beneath the protective layers of doubt, fear, and identity distortion. So much of what you think is missing is simply covered. The desire is not to become someone new. It's to become familiar again with your true form. Powerful, loved, abundant, and free. So how do you remember? You feel. That's always the doorway. You let your body lead. You breathe as the version of you who already is. You move, speak, and think as if the dream is memory, not fantasy. That small, aching part of you that keeps chasing will begin to relax as you speak to it. Left double quotation mark. The you who lives in her dream home, smiles in her true love's presence, receives those divine deposits, holds her own peace like a crown. She's real. She's real because she's felt. And what is felt with conviction becomes form. You don't imagine her life as motivation, you remember that it's yours. That it always was. You can't fake remembrance. You don't pretend to be what you are. You allow it to emerge. Slowly, authentically, from within. Sometimes it starts as a flicker, a whisper of, what if this is true? That whisper is holy. That whisper is the beginning of re-identification. Don't reach further, soften deeper. Your identity is not a goalpost. It's a doorway buried in your spine. When you stop reaching and begin remembering, the door swings open. And what you used to long for no longer feels far away. It feels like home, because it always was. Lesson 4. Feeling is the evidence. Feelings don't lie. Long before the world reflects your desire in form, it whispers to you in feeling. In fact, The feeling is not a step toward the manifestation. It is the manifestation. It is the first expression of your new reality emerging from the invisible realm into the visible. This is why you must learn to honor your feeling above all else. When you feel the truth of your desire inside your being, that is the evidence you were waiting for. That is the sign. You are not waiting for permission from the external world. You are being invited to grant it from within. Most people wait backwards. They want to see it, then believe it. They want proof. Then they'll allow themselves to feel joy, certainty, abundance. But creation doesn't follow that logic. The world doesn't show you what you want. It shows you what you feel is yours. Your life does not bend to your wishes. It bends to your assumptions, felt deeply. The unshakable inner knowing that what you've imagined is already real is what bends time, rearranges paths, and magnetizes miracles. So if you're asking, where is my manifestation? Ask instead, where is my feeling? Have I felt the joy of being it? Have I walked through a day with the relaxed, radiant confidence of the version of me who already has it? Have I let it live in my breath, in my posture, in the silent tones of my self-talk? You will know your manifestation has truly begun the moment you can feel it, not as wishful thinking, but as reality. Not reality in the sense of fact, but reality in the sense of resonance. It feels like home in your energy field. It feels familiar, right? Natural, not dramatic or distant. You're no longer trying to convince yourself. You simply know. This is why the work is inner. This is why efforting on the outside yields so little when the identity underneath hasn't shifted. You can chant affirmations, write endless lists, and hustle your way through tasks, but if your feeling tone is still rooted in not yet, it's missing, or I'm not enough, you are living in the frequency of lack, and the universe only echoes back what you most consistently embody. There is a kind of quiet celebration that happens the moment you feel it real. No one else may see it yet, but you're glowing. You carry yourself differently. You move from uncertainty to inevitability. You don't seek confirmation because you've already received it within. The feeling is the confirmation. It is not dramatic. It's not loud. In fact, it's so subtle, so gentle that most people miss it. They expect fireworks, emotional highs, euphoric visions, but often the real shift feels like a soft click inside, an internal exhale, a subtle, profound, undeniable yes. You no longer need the world to show it to you. It already lives in you. And because it lives in you, it must reveal itself out there. This is the sacred law of reflection. To the rational mind, this can feel backward. After all, we've been trained to worship proof, expect results, and wait for validation. But manifestation moves through a different intelligence entirely, one fueled by imagination and faith, not evidence and logic. When you honor your felt sense as real, you are no longer playing the waiting game. You're playing the creation game. Understand this. You cannot feel something deeply and sincerely without becoming the version of you who is living that truth. You don't need to pretend to be that version you remember you already are. Feeling is not role play, it's revelation. You're not performing, you're revealing. You are always radiating your identity, not with your words, but with your frequency. So when you step into the feeling of it is done, of I have it now, of this is who I am, the entire field responds. Opportunities align where there were once dead ends. People show up who feel familiar to your new self. The world begins to organize around your inner essence. That's the evidence you were waiting for. But first, you must claim it on the vibrational level, the feeling level, not because your condition has changed, but because your consciousness has. The outer follows the inner, always. Not sometimes, not when you're lucky, always. So if you can feel it now, you can be it now. If you can be it now, the echo must come. It is law. The delay, if any, is not in the universe. It is in the assumption. When the assumption collapses into full feeling, the manifestation is no longer in transit. It's here. Even if your senses haven't caught up yet, your reality has already begun to reflect your inner claim. Your desire doesn't need to be proven. It only needs to be felt. Let that be enough. Let that be the whole thing, because it is. Lesson 5. Don't try to manifest. Be the manifestation. You weren't born to strive. You were born to reveal. Through every longing, every ache in your heart, you're not being called into effort. You're being summoned into remembrance. The moment you try to manifest something, you suddenly declare that you are not it yet. And in that one quiet declaration, you create delay, resistance, space between you and the very thing you say you want. Trying is not the bridge. Being is. Trying is fueled by the illusion of separation. It whispers the lie that your desire's over there, and you must do something profound, disciplined, or worthy in order to reach it. But your desire is not afar, it is within. Not outside of your reach, but inside your identity, waiting to be worn like a second skin. The truth is startlingly simple. Manifestation doesn't occur when you push and pull reality into shape. It occurs the instant you become the shape it recognizes. You don't manifest a version of you who has. You unmask the you who already is. You were not meant to chase desires like wild butterflies. You were made to bloom as them. The feeling you seek through the house, the love, the impact, the money, that radiant, powerful, infinite feeling is already alive inside of you as potential. And when you inhabit that energy now without condition, without meeting proof, without waiting for something to change, the world must reflect that back. It is law. Trying is tangled in effort. Being is made of ease. One is performance. The other is presence. One is conditional. The other is inevitable. Can you see this? Understand this? Feel this? Anything you spend your energy trying to manifest is calling you into a deeper embodiment of self. Your desire is not asking you to do more. It is asking you to become more real, more honest, more of the truth that has always existed within your bones. You don't manifest love by wishing for it. You become love. You don't manifest abundance by working harder. You become the frequency where ease, wealth, and overflow feel natural. You don't manifest visibility by trying to be seen. You become undeniable. This is the holy reversal. You stop proving yourself to the world, and you start embodying the world within you. When you no longer attempt to convince reality of your worthiness, reality starts to revolve around your worth. There is an effortless power inside of you that activates when you stop convincing and start becoming. One beautiful moment of inner alignment, pure, uninterrupted being, can collapse years of external striving. The quantum doesn't measure time or humility or sacrifice. It responds only to frequency. You are always the cause, and the effect is always sculpted in your image. So how do you be when doubt creeps in, when fear rises, when the world looks unchanged? The answer is this: you stay. You stay in the state. You stay in the knowing. You stay in the felt sense of the wish fulfilled, even if your senses scream otherwise. You stay until feeling becomes fact and faith becomes form. That is not pretending. That is power. That is creation. Remember, identity emits before words are spoken or actions are taken. It is the silent signal your entire field is radiating at all times. Who you are being is dictating what life delivers. The moment you choose to be the version of you who already lives the life you desire fully, unapologetically, and without contradiction, you become a living lockdown of the outcome. You are not asking the universe to give you anything. You are showing the universe who you are, and who you are determines what you receive. Trying comes from lack. Being flows from truth. And your truth is this: it has always been you. So no more reaching, no more waiting, no more spiritual gymnastics to make it happen. Let your state of being become your prayer. Let your embodiment be your spell, your affirmation, your command. Live it now, not later, not someday, not if or when. Now. Because manifestation isn't a technique, it's not a strategy, it's not something you do, it's something you are. Lesson 6. The inner world makes the outer bow. Close your eyes just for a moment. Let the noise of the world hush. Feel into the truth. Nothing outside of you is more powerful than what lives within you. The outside world is not your master, it is your mirror. It bows before the inner world you commit to. It bends to your frequency, like water submitting to the shape of a cup. You don't chase reality, you mold it from within. All conditions of your life, the conversations, the bank account, the relationships, the opportunities, the outcomes, are rendered in time by the invisible architect that lives within your consciousness. Your assumptions, your most loyal thoughts, your consistently held feelings. These are the vibrational blueprints that construct the stage of your life. And life only ever plays out the script you've silently written with your state of being. The world is not testing you, it's reflecting you, and not your momentary wishes or fleeting hopes, but the dominant identity you live from. You can speak affirmations all day long, visualize until you cry, journal until your hand cramps, but unless those tools are rooted in a real shift of inner being, they are just surface ripples on a deep sea. The sea itself must change. The self must shift. Then the world, without resistance, follows like a tide. Here lies the freedom so many miss. You can change anything by changing nothing out there. You need not plead, push, or prove. Your outer world has no will of its own. It obeys the vibration you've accepted as you. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is law. When you persist in a new inner identity, a felt truth, not a forced concept, the outer must move to honor it. It cannot help itself. That's the order of things. This is why attempts to fix or control the outside often exhaust us, because they are built on fear of what's within. But if you will bless your inner world with faith instead of fear, if you will tend to it like sacred ground, everything else will yield. The traffic will shift, the phone will ring, the payment will arrive, the person will show up, the ideas will flow. Not randomly, but responsively. Those who live consciously from their inner world don't chase. They don't react. They know creation originates in silence, in stillness, in decision. They walk through the world with the calm confidence of one who knows reality is rising to meet them. There is no anxiety in this kind of creation, just quiet power, effortless magnetism. Start to practice the inner world that matches your desired life. Feel it real. Move through your day as that version of you, not from delusion, but design. What would your inner world feel like if the thing you desire was already true? Would your shoulders soften? Would your breath deepen? Would your thoughts be clear, kinder? Go there now. Don't wait for the outside to give you a reason. Sustain that feeling, and I promise, the outer will shift in obedience. You are never at the mercy of circumstances. You are only ever at the mercy of your self-assumed identity. And that identity can shift now, right now. This is not a future skill. It's a present decision. Every inner alignment you make today plants roots for an outer harvest tomorrow. And when you truly live this inner truth, it's not even a matter of if anymore. It's already done. Allow the mystery to rearrange for you. You don't have to know how the world will bow to the new you, just know that it must. That's not ego. That's law. You don't need to force, strive, or figure it out anymore. You only need to feel and stabilize the vibration that says, it is already so. Honor the life within, and life without will honor you back. Lesson 7. You are the wish in human form. You are not here to get your desires. You are here to realize that you are your desires, embodied, enfleshed, made visible through consciousness. Your deepest longings are not random wishes floating in your mind. They are whispers from your higher self, reminding you of who you are destined, divinely designed to be. You are not the seeker. You are the fulfillment. You are not chasing the dream. You are the dream in motion. The great illusion is that the wish and the wisher are separate, that you must strive to reach something that lives outside of you, somewhere in the distant future. But listen closely to the truth breathing beneath that illusion. There is no distance. There never was. There is only now, and you, already containing the signature of the thing you want to become. Feel this with your whole being. The version of you that has the thing you want is not out there. It is already inside you, simply waiting to be worn like a favorite coat. It's not about acquiring, it's about allowing. You don't need to search for your desires. You were born with them. They're encoded in you, not to torment you, but to awaken you. They are the map to your true self. That pull you feel, it's not towards something foreign or far. It's a return home. You are not craving love because something's missing. You are craving love because you are made of it. You're not wanting abundance because you're empty. You're desiring it because your soul knows its own richness. The longing is not a warning sign. It's an invitation, a sacred signal. The evidence that what you seek is already alive within you. So breathe deeper. Drop below the surface of striving. Can you feel it? The quiet but undeniable knowing that you are it, that all along your desire was simply your true self trying to be remembered. You are not trying to become worthy of your desires. You are remembering that your desires are proof of your worth. They only appear outside because you temporarily forgot your true form, the wish already fulfilled. To live from this place is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is spiritual inevitability. Your most natural state is wholeness, and desire is just your internal GPS trying to guide you back into that wholeness. So stop asking, will it happen? And start asking, can I feel it to be me? Don't ask the universe to deliver the wish. Ask yourself to remember that you are the answer to it. The door is not outside you. The key is not waiting in someone else's hand. The treasure is not buried beneath years of work. It's within. Under layers of old stories, quiet doubts, and false identities, lives the truest version of you. Whole, complete, already fulfilled, beautifully willing to be seen again. You become magnetic the moment you become honest about who you truly are. Not the version pretending to be on the way, but the version who is the way. The version who rests in the knowing, I am already it. That feeling, that soft certainty, it changes everything. People respond differently. Opportunities flow differently. Time collapses around that kind of identity. You start walking differently in the world. Not as someone seeking love, happiness, or wealth, but as someone silently radiating the frequency of those things. You stop trying to manifest, and instead, you start emanating. You start streaming the truth through your every cell, every word, every decision. And life bows to that truth. Reality bends to meet the vibration of someone who no longer reaches, but remembers. You are it. You are the essence of the thing you long for. Let that truth not just live in your mind, but sink into your heart, vibrate through your bones, and breathe through your life. You are not a person wishing for transformation. You are transformation, waking up in human form. There is nothing to gain, nothing to prove, and nothing to earn. Your only requirement is to feel as though it already is. And in that feeling, you become what you seek. In that moment, the loop closes. The seeker dissolves. The search ends. And what remains is your true self, standing tall in the fullness of the thing it once longed for. The river no longer flows outward. It flows from you. You are the current. You are the source. You are the wish in human form. Lesson 8. Vibration doesn't lie. You are what you feel. You can say all the affirmations you want. You can script in your journal until ink runs dry. You can vision board, meditate, and visualize for hours. But none of it matters if your vibration doesn't match the frequency of what you seek. Not because the universe is judging you, not because you're being tested, but because vibration only echoes truth. And your truth is always what you feel, not what you say. Your life is a printout of your internal atmosphere, not your intentions, not your plans, your atmosphere, your emotional tone, your moment-to-moment energy signature. Every situation reflects it. Every encounter echoes it. You can't fake a vibration, not even to yourself. It is the most honest language your being speaks. If you want to manifest something new, you must speak in its frequency. The universe is not waiting on you to prove your worth. It is simply waiting on you to embody your match. The frequency of abundance has a rhythm. So does the frequency of love and freedom and expansion. If you tune your instrument, yourself, to those vibrations, what you desire rushes to find you, not because you summoned it, but because you became it in feeling. Your vibration is not what you want to feel, it's what you are feeling. Right now, it's the living hum beneath your thoughts, the energy you carry when nobody is watching. That's why no performance can shift your reality. Pretending to be confident while vibrating insecurity won't trick the field of creation. Declaring wealth through clenched teeth won't deceive the frequency of abundance. The only thing that matters is, what does it feel like to be you right now? This is not meant to judge you, it's meant to free you. Because once you understand that the key is in how you feel, not someday but now, you become sovereign over your state. You stop negotiating with circumstances. You stop hoping external shifts will change you and begin changing from the inside out. You begin to source your reality from your inner core instead of your outer conditions. And that alone reshapes your entire world. Notice how you feel when you think of your desire. Notice the subtle contraction or expansion inside you. Does it feel like tension, lack, distance? Or does it feel like warmth, peace, rightness? These internal sensations are not random. They are the indicators of whether you are truly aligned to what you say you want, or whether you're still aching toward it. Thinking about your desire and feeling as your desire are not the same thing. One keeps you in dreaming. The other pulls reality into present time. Once your nervous system believes it, the music of your vibration changes. A transmission goes out. A match is struck. Life reorganizes because it must, not because you commanded it, but because everything must respond to truth. At any moment, you can close your eyes and activate a new frequency inside you, not through force, but through permission. What would it feel like to already be that version of you? Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, but now, before anything changes. Soften into it. Pretend if you have to, but then stop pretending and start remembering. This sensation you call imagination, that tingling warmth when you fully embody the wish fulfilled, is not fiction. It is vibration realigning cells, timelines, and matter. It is quantum prayer. It is causation. Everything else is just delay. There is nothing more potent than a being who vibrates congruently, who doesn't just speak affirmations but lives them, who doesn't try to believe in miracles, but becomes the felt vibration of them. This is not about convincing, it's about coherence. When your inner state matches the essence of what you want, it shows up in form, period. No one outside of you controls this. You don't need a guru, a technique, or a cosmic intervention. Your power is in your vibration, and your vibration is in your feeling, and your feeling is yours to choose in every breath, every heartbeat, every moment. You are not chasing your manifestations. You are attracting their mirror, and the mirror never lies. Lesson 9. Assume the energy of the answer. There is a frequency that belongs to what you want, a rhythm, a tone, a vibration. It's not something you chase, it's something you become. The universe does not respond to what you beg for. It mirrors back the energy you embody. When you assume the energy of the answer, when you move, breathe, and speak as the version of you for whom it is already done, you collapse the space between desire and fulfillment. That version of you already exists. It's not some far-off ideal waiting to be sculpted out of thin air. It lives within you now, waiting not to be created, but to be assumed. Every reality is already alive in the field. Infinite versions of you, successful, in love, at peace, wealthy, radiant, all existing simultaneously. The question is not how to get there, but which version you are willing to become. Not tomorrow, right now. When a question lives in your heart, will it happen? When will it come? Will I get there? You are swimming in the energy of uncertainty, and uncertainty delays, because it's not the truth of the fulfilled self. The real version of you, the one living the answered prayer, is not asking whether it's real. They are already living it, breathing it, having it. When you assume their energy, you stop pursuing and start embodying. And manifestation, dear one, is not pursuit. It is identity. It is alignment. You can feel the difference inside you, can't you? The part of you that hopes versus the part of you that knows. Hopes reach out. Knowing rests in. Hoping is hungry. Knowing is full. So here is your invitation. Take one breath right now and let yourself imagine vividly, sensually, clearly what it would feel like to already be living the answer. Not to see it, not to grasp it, but to melt into it as your current reality. Would your shoulders relax? Would your voice change? Would your inner dialogue soften? Would there be a sense of quiet ease where tension used to live? Feel that. Let that sensation lead. That is the energy of the answer. You are not pretending. You are remembering. When you assume the energy of the answer, your mind may try to resist. It may shout, but it's not real yet. That's okay. Thank it. Love it. But don't obey it. The mind is conditioned to protect the known, but your heart, your body, they know how to lead into the new. Eventually, the mind surrenders when the feeling gets strong enough. That's why we start with the body, the breath, the sensation. You cannot control your thoughts into alignment. You feel your way there. And alignment is not something you earn. It is something you choose. Every single moment is a doorway, a choice point. You get to ask, what energy am I wearing right now? Am I adorned in the identity of the seeker or the one who has found it? Am I broadcasting lack or radiating completion? Energetically, you are either rehearsing your delay or reenacting your destiny, and you will always become what you rehearse. So practice the answer. Move with its rhythm. Speak with its tone. Make room in your life for the version of you who already knows it is done. What would they eat? How would they start their day? What would they no longer tolerate? How would they walk into a room? The more you dwell in that reality internally, the faster the world catches up externally. This is not performance. It is presence. The more you presence the fulfilled you, the more you realize this has always been your natural state. You only forgot. You tried for so long to become that which you already are. But trying is exhausting. Being is effortless. Assume it long enough, and it doesn't feel like effort anymore. It feels like truth. And when it feels like truth, it shows up all around you, effortlessly, inevitably. So assume the energy, not from force, but from devotion. Not to make something happen, but because it is who you now choose to be. Over and over again, without needing to prove it, without needing to convince anyone, including yourself. Because when it's real, you don't have to explain. You simply live it. And life obeys. You're not becoming the answer. You are remembering that you have always been it. Lesson 10. Walk in the state of the fulfilled. To walk in the state of the fulfilled is to refuse to consult with your senses for evidence. It's to walk in quiet confidence, in holy defiance of delay. Your external world may still reflect the old story, but you no longer dance to that rhythm. You move differently now, not because something outside has changed, but because you have. You have stepped into the deeper knowing that it is done. Not merely done, not getting there, done, finished, fulfilled. This is not pretending. This is not acting. This is embodiment, a sacred conviction that reveals its own reality through you. When you walk in the state of the fulfilled, you speak from a knowing. You think differently, breathe deeper, smile easily, and feel the completion within you not as hope, but as memory. You are no longer seeking proof because you are the proof. You become the breathing evidence of the very thing you once longed to experience. You walk with the energy of someone who already owns it. And that walk, that being, pulls reality into formation. What does this walk feel like? It feels like freedom, like exhaling, like that moment just after you receive the call, or the text, or the invitation you've been hoping for. That moment when everything settles and nothing feels urgent anymore. Can you touch that feeling now, not later, not when you have the external prize in hand. Now, within. That's the secret hidden in plain sight. Fulfillment lives in a state, not in a circumstance. You were taught to wait until life gives you the evidence so that you feel complete. But manifestation is the reverse process. Feeling complete is what allows life to reflect your wholeness. And when you walk as the fulfilled, you no longer generate energy from hunger, you generate it from gratitude, from wealth, from sufficiency. Imagine walking into a room as the one who already knows they are loved, valued, becoming, safe. You don't have to convince anyone, including yourself. The knowing walks ahead of you. It speaks before your words do. The world picks up on this frequency, delicately, immediately, and begins reorienting itself around the clarity of your belief. At times, the old identity will whisper, doubt will flicker in, like a gust of wind testing a freshly lit flame. But that's all it is, a breeze, not a storm. And you, the one who has embodied the state of the fulfilled, recognize those winds for what they are, echoes of a self you no longer live inside. They do not define you. They don't stop your walk. You are not here to avoid resistance. You are here to walk right through it, anchored in the truth of your being. It's important to remember, the state of the fulfilled is not sterile. It's not flawless or emotionless. In the state of the fulfilled, you can still feel tender, soft, even uncertain from time to time. But under it all is peace, a deep, anchored sense of I am. I am the one who receives. I am the one who allows. I am the one who already is. If it feels unfamiliar at first, good. That unfamiliarity is not a mistake. It's a sign that you're stepping out of the known self and into the remembered self. You do not have to get it perfect. You only need to feel it more often. Dwell there. Revisit the frequency. Treat it like your home. The more you return, the more familiar it becomes. Eventually, it stops feeling foreign and starts feeling like truth. You do not need to beg life to bring you what you already hold in vibration. You do not need to rehearse your worth. You only need to rest in the state where it's already true. And then watch as the world can't help but align. Walking in the state of the fulfilled is the highest form of faith. Not faith in a distant outcome, but faith in your own identity. It's the kind of surrender that doesn't weaken you, but empowers you. You're not trying to make something happen. You are simply walking from the fact that it already has. The bridge to your desire builds itself beneath your steps, and as you keep walking, grounded, grateful, certain, something stunning happens. You begin to forget that you ever doubted. You begin to forget that it wasn't already yours, because now it lives in you, as you, through you. In the world, like a mirror that has been patiently waiting for your light to adjust, begins to reflect the fullness you've claimed within. Lesson 11. Let the feeling do the work. There is something magnetic about honesty of emotion. When you truly feel something, not in your mind, but in your bones, you shift the entire room you walk into. You felt it before. The presence of someone who didn't have to speak a word to be heard. That's what manifestation is. It is not words, affirmations, or rituals that bend the universe. It is the invisible, yet unmistakable frequency of embodiment. And embodiment cannot be faked. It is felt. It is lived. It is who you are before the evidence shows up, not because of it. Let the feeling do the work. This is the sacred art. This is the divine reversal. You've been taught to think, plan, predict, push. The culture of productivity would have you believe that effort is salvation, that force yields results. But creation, real creation, is not hard labor. It is holy alignment. You do not become the person who lives your dream life by building the perfect to-do list. You become them by mastering the internal tone, the energetic frequency, the felt identity. Feeling, felt consistently and truthfully, is the blueprint of form. Most people try to manipulate their outer world by obsessing over the details. The how, the when, the who. But manifestation doesn't respond to manipulation, it responds to magnetism. You cannot force an outcome that isn't in resonance with you, but you can feel yourself into a frequency where that outcome arrives uninvited, effortless, inevitable. Why? Because it's already true. It's already yours. The moment you feel it fully, the world adjusts accordingly. This does not mean pretending. Pretending exhausts the soul. It pulls you further from the truth. You don't have to fake a feeling. You only have to find it, even if it's faint, even if it's momentary, even if it feels unfamiliar. The seed of your desire is already inside you, not waiting to be planted, but waiting to be watered. Water it with knowing, with emotion, with presence. This is your inner work. This is your only work. The infinite lives inside your nervous system. Heaven is not a place far above. It is a frequency deep within. Feel it, and you've arrived. Speak from the energy of already, and you become it in real time. Walk like the version of you who already knows. Sit like the version of you who's already received. Breathe like someone who no longer needs to chase, because it's already yours. There is a difference between wanting and being. Feel the way being feels, and watch reality bow. Not because you're doing more, but because you're allowing more. Let the feeling do the shaping. Let the identity do the attracting. What the mind complicates, the feeling simplifies, and what the feeling invites, the universe cannot resist. Can you remember a time you just knew something was going to happen? You hadn't seen it yet, but something inside, subtle, quiet, unshakable, whispered, "It's done." That certainty was not random, it was power. That feeling was not a reaction to results, it was the cause. You are the cause. Your state is the signal. Your feeling is the code. It's easy to believe that harder means worthier, that struggle guarantees success. But the deeper truth is this: what you feel without resistance arrives without delay. No force, no fight, just flow. You don't create from friction, you create from fullness. You create from already. So soften into the experience of having it. Let your heart rehearse the receiving. Open yourself to the peace of completion. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop trying and start feeling. All transformation begins at the level of being, and feeling is the gateway to it. What you're longing for is not effort, it's access. And that access is always emotional, spiritual, internal. The mind might ask, "What should I do?" But the soul is always whispering, "How does it feel to be it?" That's where your true work begins and ends. Feel it again and again, not to make it happen, but because it's already happening. Feel it, not to twist reality into shape, but to return to the shape of your soul's truth. Stay with that feeling until it spills over into your voice, into your posture, into your gaze. Let it become your natural tone of being, and suddenly, you'll notice life rearranges. People respond differently. Opportunities emerge. Solutions find you. Doors open not because you knocked harder, but because you spoke the language they recognize, the frequency of already. Let the feeling do the work, and life will too. Lesson 12. Feel it until it feels like home. There comes a moment in the journey where the desire no longer feels foreign, no longer like a future possibility or a wild hope held at arm's length. You've imagined it, assumed it, touched it in feeling, and then something soft but profound happens. It starts to feel normal, familiar, like it's always been. That moment is sacred. It's the moment your inner world fully receives the reality you've been imagining. And in that moment, manifestation is no longer about arrival, it's about recognition. It's no longer something you're trying to get to, it's who you already are. The shift doesn't come with fanfare or applause. Sometimes it arrives like a whisper, sometimes like a wave of peace that washes over a once clenched body. Sometimes it's just a breath, an exhale, a subtle letting go of the effort to make it happen. Because now, it's here, in you, around you, of you. And although your senses may still be catching up, your identity is already living it. This is what it means to feel it until it feels like home. When you consistently dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the mind stops resisting and the body starts agreeing. It becomes easier to think the thoughts that match what you desire, not because you're forcing yourself into positive thinking, but because it's simply who you are now. The old self, the one who doubted, feared, struggled, softens its grip. You find yourself saying things like, "Of course it's happening for me," not out of desperation, but from deep knowing. You're no longer trying to believe, you are belief embodied, Reality reshapes itself around what you've normalized inside. This is the art of naturalness. What once felt like a dream now feels like the most obvious truth. You no longer perform the feeling to make something happen. You embody the feeling because it's who you are. All manifestation rests in this principle. What is normal becomes real. Not ordinary, but familiar. And the fastest way to allow your desire in is to emotionally welcome it as already here, already yours, already home. Think of love. Think of abundance. Think of freedom. These are not things you find. They are things you allow yourself to feel again and again until your nervous system adapts, until your perception changes, until you wake up one day and realize you're no longer chasing them because you are them. Can you feel that subtle shift from longing to being, from seeking to having? Let it feel safe with you. Let it settle into your bones, the acceptance, the joy, the relief of having it already. Let wealth become familiar in your inner world. Let success become casual in your energy. Let love feel expected in your heart. Not with arrogance, but with grace. Not with entitlement, but with truth. Forget about performance, ritual, or repetition. This is not persuasion. This is residence. You live in the state now, not as a guest, but as a native. You are fluent in the language of your dream. You've been speaking it in silence, in stillness, in everyday breath. And now, it speaks back, through events, through people, through opportunity. This is not magic, though it may look like it. This is not luck, though others may call it that. This is embodiment. This is spiritual congruence. This is vibrational alignment. You stayed in the feeling until it no longer felt like a stretch, until it felt like coming home after a long journey. Nothing outside of you gave it to you. Your inner agreement is what allowed it in. Don't panic if it doesn't feel like home right away. Feelings are soft animals. They take time to trust. But with each repetition, each re-entry into the state of the wish fulfilled, the unfamiliar becomes familiar. The far becomes near. The dream becomes memory. Like putting on a well-worn coat, it begins to fit you naturally, rightfully, as if it was tailored to you from the start. And it was. You came here to remember what was always yours. You came here to make the invisible visible through your identity, your assumption, your feeling. The outer world is just taking notes, rearranging itself, responding to what you've chosen as normal. So choose something beautiful. Choose something bold. Choose something that scares you a little, and feel it until it doesn't anymore. Feel it until it feels easy. Feel it until it feels warm. Feel it until it feels like laughter you've always known, music from a childhood dream, or a view you swear you've seen before. Feel it until it feels like home. And once it's home, it's here.